Welcome
to the joy of coding.
Hello and welcome to episode 430 of The Joy of Coding. My name is Mike Conley. It's so good to have you here. Going to be live hacking on some Firefox stuff. Going to be digging into some R&D, research and development for a new tab initiative. We'd started to talk a little bit about it last week where I'm working with a couple colleagues on this, and this is my end of the research project. We'll get into it. I won't get too into the weeds before we've even showed my screen. So let's do that first. Hey, check it out. It's February 18th, 2026, episode 430. A reminder, no plan survives breakfast. I think I know what I want to do today. I think I know what's going to go on. I generally have a sense of what I want to go over. I don't know what we're going to discover because I'm hoping we can do a little bit of tinkering and prototyping with a particular idea that I have. I'll go into more detail when we get to it, but I don't know how that's going to go. And that's like, oh boy. Oh, okay, sorry. I'm also watching, you have to forgive me. I'm watching the Olympics out of the corner of my eye. And I'm here with you, but I'm also kind of watching the Olympics, and it's men's hockey. Canada is playing Czechia right now, and there was just a shot, there was like a breakaway. Czechia almost, we're tied. There's only a few minutes left in the third period. Czechia is putting up a heck of a fight. We might be going to overtime, so some of this may become hockey commentary. I apologize. There's only a minute and 10 left, but I'm also working. For you please forgive me. This is not normally something I would do. I would not normally be so distracted, at least for non-programmy or Mozilla-y things, but in this particular case, I care a lot about watching this live. There's only a minute remaining in the period. We may be going to OT. Yeah, so we have an episode guide. You should check it out. But before I get into that, the agenda that we're looking at is something that you have access to. If you're watching this on Air Mozilla, it's over in the details section over there. If you're watching this on Twitch, it's down in the channel details. And if you're watching this on YouTube, it'll be down in the video description, the link. And as I update the agenda, which I will often do, I'll flesh it out with more things. This little spinny will eventually spin, and if you reload the page, the agenda should be up to date. So, what do I want to look at today? Well, first of all, before we go into it, I've been starting every episode with a sort of a readout of the associated HTTP error code, but this is one of those episodes where there's not actually an official 430 error code for HTTP error code 430. It doesn't exist, or at least it doesn't exist on Keanu.codes. If you go to Keanu.codes, you can see sort of the big list of Keanu Reeves related error codes. Oh, that's the end of the third period. We're going to OT. And there's nothing for 430. We did too many requests last week. Next week, it'll be request header fields too large with this amazing photo. I don't know what's going on there. But there's nothing for 430. But I did find this this link here for, what is this? Something kind of specialized. HTTP response task code 430 is an unofficial client error specific to Shopify of all things, and is returned by the server to indicate that too many HTTP requests are being made using the API within a certain period, which that is unusual. I don't know why Shopify would have chosen this one. Too many requests. I feel like wouldn't there be maybe it's like let's see, not found, method not acceptable, unauthorized bad request, permanent redirect, found moved permanently. I mean, I feel like we've seen one that's like, hold up, I need you to back off for a little bit. I thought I saw one. Too many requests. We just did it. Too many requests. Why aren't they using too many requests? This is here, they talk about it. The server is refusing to process the request because too many requests are made to the API in too close a succession. This error has been reported during web crawling events, such as when a store operator is testing their site. It can be avoided and solved by increasing the limit on the maximum number of requests over a given time. Then they write, This is similar to the HTTP response status code too many requests, which is an official status that is relevant and applicable in such cases. Okay, I don't know why wouldn't they have just done? Why wouldn't they have just used it? Hold on, just a quick sec here. I'm just making sure that I'm pretty sure the chat is working, but normally I would have seen more traffic by now. I just want to double check. Is there anyone in the Twitch chat that is able to just quickly confirm for me that it's working? There's Smurfd. All right, great. Okay, thank you. That's all I needed. I appreciate it. Thank you. Heyo. So originally 430 was reserved for request header fields, but our request header fields too large. However, that was changed to 431. 430 would block status. So there was too many API calls deprecated. So now it's deprecated and no longer appears in the Shopify API. Search engines like Google will not index a URL with 430 response status, and consequently URLs that have been indexed in the past but are now returning the status code will be removed from search results. So it's a client error that's specific to Shopify that has since been deprecated, indicates the server is unwilling to process the request. A better alternative would actually be to use 429. What a mysterious, I'm very curious to know why Shopify would have gone with 430 rather than 429. I have to presume that 429 existed when they went and chose 430, or is 429 new? I don't know. I don't know what the when was this introduced? 420. Where am I? Working group RFC 429. Too many requests. This is from 2012. I don't think Shopify existed in 2012. When did Shopify start date? When did Shopify start existing? Okay, 2006. Okay. Maybe I'm wrong. Shopify existed. So maybe it's possible that they just kind of jumped ahead. They jumped the gun a little bit. That is possible. In which case, maybe then this the HTTP-WG proposed 429, and everyone has kind of aligned behind that. Okay. Maybe I'm wrong. Let's move on. Let's see. 1 second here. Okay, so I also want to apologize. Last week I was streaming and I forgot to turn off the stream, and it was still running overnight. So thank you to everyone who reached out to me. At least a couple of you reached out and were like, "Hey, you're still streaming." Thank you for doing that. That really helped. It reminded me in the morning. I was like, "Holy crap!" and I went and turned it off. So I appreciate that. So what are we looking at today? We're looking at the remotely or remote settings to update the new tab. Canada wins! Canada scored. Was this sudden death OT? I think it was. I think that's the game. I think Canada just won. I don't want to ruin this for anyone who's watching the stream who's maybe not watching right now, but I just watched the puck go in. And I'm pretty sure Canada just won the game in OT. Apologies if I've just ruined what you were going to watch later on after your workday. But I'm very excited. Now that I know this, I can shut this window. Let me shut this window and not be distracted anymore. There we go. We don't have to worry about that. Actually, I am going to do put my other readout that I normally have here instead. Let me put that back. Okay. So, hosting a new tab remotely, the UI, that's great. And we've got an endpoint set up. I've got some prototype code. We've got this sort of mechanism that will push the code to remote settings. That's cool. One thing I ran into while I was trying to prototype this out, I wanted to kind of demonstrate, which was here. Let me see if I can demonstrate it for you. Let me revert some of what I did, and we will comment that out, and I'll describe the problem. So let's actually build. Let's use an artifact build right now. We'll build, and I will show you. And I'll describe it. I'll describe what's going on. So what we have emitted and posted up to the remote settings backend and what we can pull down is this blob, this JavaScript. It's compiled JavaScript. So compiled is like minified JavaScript, this bundle thing. And it is emitted as an ES6 JavaScript module. So let me write it to the cache again. I have to do this like kind of, things are kind of gonna look broken for a second here. I apologize. How do I do this again? I think I have to go, I have to import this thing. And I'll say new tab cache, clear cache, and then I'm gonna do check or maybe revalidate. Okay, and then if we check the cache here, we will see that on the disk cache, there should be something for new tab, about new tab remote cache script, and there's 320,834 bytes, and what we have in the cache viewer is a big old blob of web-packed JavaScript. That is expected. And I think what we want to do is we want to pull this in whenever we're loading from new tab. But when I do that, it'll say like, oh, export declarations may only appear at the top level of a module. Because guess what? If we take a look at the cache entry, we are using the export mechanism to, like, it's hard to see, but it's like heavily minified, but we're using like the ES6 module mechanism to export some symbols, and that's only allowed inside of an ES6 module. Okay, so then our next move then is, instead of loading this as a script, we'll load it as a module, so that we use script async type equals module. Okay, no problem, let's do that. So we rebundle. What I'm trying to do is module, whoops, sorry, scripts, no, modules, push. I'm trying to demonstrate the problem, and then we'll get to exploring the issue. So just give me a quick second here. Let me build faster. Okay, so now we should be loading the script as a module, and we're going to see something different, a different error message. Cross origin request blocked. Let's take a close look here. Cross origin request blocked. The same origin policy disallows reading the remote resource at about :new tab JS cache because the CORS request is not HTTP. Wow, wow. Now, why is that? What is going on? And if I remember correctly, there are. Here's what's going on. Yeah, let's have a closer look, and then I don't know if this is going to come across. Do you see? Well, no, I thought the content would zoom. It's not zooming. Okay, so let's zoom in. That's about as much as it. Oh, it zooms more. CORS request. What is a CORS request? So CORS stands for Cross Origin Request Security, I think. CORS definition. Cross Origin Resource Sharing, according to MDN. So that what it does is whenever you make a request for a resource, normally this is on web properties, we will, before we even pull down that resource, we will ask that the endpoint, like, hey, am I even allowed to pull this resource down? So what the platform will do, what the browser will do, is we'll send a request to the server that is hosting that resource, what's called a pre-flight, and it will ask the server, hey, is this resource allowed to be imported like this? And if not, then the browser will be like, oh, I can't load that resource. It's failing CORS. And this is not something that a web page can sort of like opt out of. Like you as the person attempting to import the script, you can't really opt out of it. You are not allowed really as the web page to willy-nilly just bring in other resources, like script resources from other servers, without those servers having given some kind of blessing. And that's what CORS is all about. Is it's like a way for a server to say like, hey, you can use this script just on my site or everywhere, or like here are the rules. And so here's the example. It will say where's the pre-flight? In that pre-flight, the browser sends headers that indicate that the HTTP method and headers that will be used in the actual request. The CORS mechanism supports secure cross-origin requests and data transfers. Does it go more into the pre-flight? The CORS pre-flight. It is an options request using 2 or 3 HTTP request headers. And it'll say like, hey, I want this thing. I'm trying to use this method. In this case, it's asking about delete, but we'd be doing a get, and then the origin, we'd be like, this is the maybe what we're trying to be. Sorry, I'm very distracted right now. This is the origin where we're maybe attempting to use the resource, and then this is not sent by this is not sent by the web developer. This is something that is sent by the browser, kind of transparently to you, and it's just doing this double check. It's like saying, hey, am I allowed to go get your thing? And then the server can be like, yes, I am a CDN. You are allowed to use this script everywhere. Or, no, this is my script. You're not definitely. This is a banking script or something. And like, please do not use this script anywhere, except for me. So that's kind of how that works. And whenever we're trying to load modules like this, when we're attempting to load ESMs, sorry, where did I go there? Like this, kind of doing this hack to pull in the cached JavaScript, I'm attempting to load it from this about URI with a special query param. The sort of security mechanism in the browser, which, to be clear, I am not like so deep within the CSP layer of the browser that I fully understand what's going on. But my read on the situation, having read around a little bit, is that modules, when you do type equals module, certain strictness is applied. Like one of the things that you get right off the bat for free if you're emitting a module is that you don't have to use the use strict string anymore at the top of your JavaScript file, because by virtue of being a JavaScript module, you are like opting, you are self-selecting as being something that is in strict mode. And one of the other things that occurs whenever you're of type module is that we are more likely to check for CORS permissions, or like to do the CORS check. What is interesting is that it doesn't happen for Chrome URIs. It doesn't happen for resource URIs. It does happen for about URIs. And I don't know why that is, but I wanted to look into it. And let me sort of, hang on a second here. I'm going to tear this out for a second. I wanted to show you some things that we can do, like some quick and dirty things we can do is we can like go down here. There's a way for us to like try and bypass some of the CORS checks. It's not, I don't feel good about it. I don't want to do it. What I would rather do is gain some of the same capabilities as these other scripts that we're loading as modules for our resource. So I wanted to look into this whole mechanism of applying CSPs or not applying, applying the CORS checks or not applying the CORS checks. So that's what I'm hoping to look at today. The first thing that comes to mind, actually, when I think about it, is the new tab redirector. This is the thing that we register our about new tab redirector. Let me show you this. The about new tab redirector's job is to be the handler for about : new tab and about : home. That's its job. And it gets sort of redirected those requests. And I want to quickly check to see whether or not an about module, which the about new tab redirector is, let's see, there's the base new tab redirector, there's the flags, I kind of wonder whether or not we need to be supplying slightly different flags here. And I wanted to take a look at the about module flags to see if there's a way we can opt in. So we're already safe for untrusted content. A flag that indicates whether a URI should be run with content privileges. If it is, the about protocol handler will enforce the principle of channels created for it be based on their original URI or URI by setting their owner to null. If content needs to be able to link to this URI, specify URI content linkable as well. Script, hide from about, enable index DB, can load and child, linkable. This is maybe interesting. Is secure Chrome UI? And I kind of wonder if we want to add this. Indicates that this about URI is a secure Chrome UI. Now, I don't exactly know what the guarantees are of something that is a secure Chrome UI, but I want to see whether or not this affects things with loading this module. And after that, I'd want to understand what that flag really means and whether or not new tab and home qualify, especially if we're going to start hosting some of it remotely. So this did not help. The same origin policy thing is still applying, so that doesn't help. What I'd like to do now is I think I want to try and debug. I want to start stepping through some of our security stuff, and we can try and figure out where this CORS thing is being applied, and what decisions it's making, so that we can better understand the environment that we're in. So this is a pre-existing debug build. This should I always tend, whenever I switch between Moz configs, I like to do a build just in case, but this one's already almost done. And what I'm going to do is I need to get this one in the state where I can test it like this. Test it with our caching thing. And then I'm going to use the debugger to try and explore where this error is coming from, and then work backwards to try and sort through how we get there. That's my plan. Okay. So we get this. It's going to be really kind of slow going because the debug build is not optimized. It is, it's going to be slow, but that's okay. This is what we gain, what we lose with speed, we gain with debugability. So we're going to turn this on. The other thing I want to do is I want to install the remote settings DevTools. That's this. And we're going to switch our remote settings endpoint to dev, because that's where we've pushed up our our fake version of the testing version of the new tab stuff, new tab UI. So let's get this installed. Okay. to switch over to dev. We will sync. And then I'm going to use new tab cache dot mate. Oh, that's, sorry, in over here, we're gonna load this thing up. Let me pop open a console. This is all set up so that we can try walking through our stuff. Smurfy says, by the way, I saw that Nightly removed the org.mozilla from the about dialog. Yes. So it was raised during the stream that this was looking a little funky. The bug that we filed, I think, ended up being closed today. I'm realizing that my email's still open. I'm realizing that other stuff's still open too. Let me close all that stuff down. But let's take a look at that bug that we had filed. Did I file it and put a link here? Did I put a link? File the bug. Yeah, let's take a look at the bug that we filed to see what went on. Meanwhile, this thing is done done launching, so we're gonna load up new tab cache. We're gonna go new tab cache. Oh, could not download because something. Huh. What do we want? We want to maybe revalidate. And let's now see whether or not things are showing up in the cache now. About colon. No. I'm seeing so many of these errors. What could this be? Could not download. Is remote settings having some difficulty? Is the dev server down? Whoopsie daisy. Copy link location. Dev might, we may be in trouble here. Okay, well, we can instead, we can hard code something. Let's hard code something. We don't have to wait for hard code some module.js for now. So we're gonna go console.log hello world. This is a module script, and then we're gonna say export Mike the best. Okay. And then we will take our encoded JS, and then that's what's going to go into the buffer. And then for the CSS, we're going to write nothing. Or actually, let's hard code some CSS as well. Hard coded CSS equals body background color red, just so we can see it. Constant encoded CSS equals new text encoder encode CSS, and then we will write that to the cache. All right. We crashed here for some reason. Abort because something. Who's to say? All of these attachments failed. Dev being down, remote settings being down is not helping. But let me check to see if there's some kind of alerting about this. Nothing jumps out. Okay, so we're going to, instead of calling maybe revalidate, we're just going to call update from remote settings, and we're going to pass in the version identifier of 0.0.1 or something. New tab cache, update from remote settings, and then JS and CSS are ignored, and we're just going to pass in version 0.0.1. Array buffer, undefined, 159. Oh, come on. Array buffer. What do you mean? Right cache entry. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Line 207. Can't access property byte length. I'm opening up this debugger, the JavaScript debugger, to see what's going wrong here. Wrong process. This is wrong. This is DevTools. It's like DevTools is debugging itself, just the parser worker. Wrong. Reload. It might help if I open up an actual new tab. Still? Oh, come on. All right. Let's try one more time. Let's open up settings page. Okay, now launch the toolbox. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Getting impatient. I do not like waiting. There we go. This is what I wanted to see. I wanted to see the rest of the scripts come in. And what I want is new tab cache. This one. Load it. Great. And then write cache entry. This is where it's failing over. I'm going to put a debugger statement there. I'm also going to... Oh, see? Like, this looks wrong. Okay, that explains it. I don't need the debugger statement. I forgot to build or something. Or maybe I forgot to save the file? I forgot to save. Ugh. Oh, I want to just... I'm going to throttle something. All right. My blood pressure. Got to worry about... Stay cool, Mike. Stay cool. Hey, Canada won. Canada won the hockey game. We're going to the gold medal game. It's us versus, I think, the U.S. Both for women's and men's hockey. Pretty stoked about that. I do like hockey. I don't like to be stereotypical. But I am a hockey fan. Maybe that's not surprising as someone who hails from Canada. And in particular, as someone who is in Toronto, we are starved for watching us being represented by insanely good hockey players. Exactly. How are the Leafs? You know, Toronto, we had our shot. We had our shot last year. Maybe we'll give it another shot this year. But like, it's very nice when we can rally behind a team and be like, that's our team, and it's filled with like amazing players, and like they've got a shot, a really honest to goodness shot at the top prize. Because as a Leafs fan, I guess, like, I feel like I'm reluctantly, I shouldn't say reluctantly a fan, but like, because I live here, I kind of feel obligated to be a Leafs fan. And they're all right, but they also have this like tendency to, I don't want to talk like, this is gonna sound mean, but like, they just tend to disappoint. Like, they'll just choke in the third period every time. That's Leafs hockey, baby. Is we're gonna be playing so well and aggressively, and then we'll just collapse. We just get gassed, and then we run out of gas in the third period and collapse, and everyone's heart's broken. And then everyone in Toronto goes like, maybe next year. Then repeat, rinse and repeat. Okay, is this gonna work? Okay. We maybe wrote some stuff. Let's see. Cash. List cash entries. About new tab. There. Script. So we've got our little test script there, and I'm going to open up a new tab, and it crashes because we're failing an assertion, probably because of the CSP stuff. Okay, well, that's good. Let's take a look at this assertion that we're failing. Disallow visitor assert. Disallowing visitor assert. Page must not contain a CSP with a directive. So these are going to be about new tab must not contain a CSP with a directive script source that includes about. Makes sense, I guess. So we'll go ahead and remove that. I think we had added that. Where did we add that? Script source. It should just be this. No about page. Go ahead and get rid of this. We'll go ahead and re-render the page. What I'm looking for is to hit our CORS error again. And then we can start debugging and try and see how we got there. What would be ideal is if I could do this with RR, but I don't have a powerful enough Linux machine at hand to do that. Unfortunately, RR is the sort of thing that you can only do on Linux. Yeah, I wish RR ran on Mac OS. I wish RR ran on Windows. I wish the ring had never come to me. If you're looking for some, just going back to hockey for a second, if you're looking for a laugh, check out the Canadian bobsled team has been doing some interviews, men's bobsled team. Great interviews, very hockey flavored interviews from the Canadian bobsled team, which I found very funny. Okay, so let's see. Are we gonna hit our assert? We hit a different assert. Did I? Oh, you know, damn it. So I have to do two things. Whenever we change that, this is more of a new tab problem. I can't just do mock build faster. I have to rebundle new tab. Okay, now I mock build faster. It really should be something that mock build faster does, but we've had difficulty getting that wired in. Okay. Craig writes, I used to cheer for Toronto as Toronto was closest to my hometown, but then I moved to Ottawa. So now I feel obligated to cheer for them, the Ottawa Senators. Yeah, Sens, great team. I know that's weird coming from a Leafs fan. I'm not, like, rivalry between Canadian teams is meh. I know that some people are very like, oh, you know, there's this tension between the Leafs and Ottawa and maybe the Habs as well, but I'm happy whenever any Canadian team is doing well. Okay, so let's open up our new tab. Hey, so our CSS loaded properly, but I'm gonna guess that we get our cores error. Yeah. Okay, good. So now I want to figure out where this is coming from. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna attach a breakpoint to 3171, attach a debugger. We're gonna attach LLDB to 3171. Just Danny Colin looks at NHL.com. Only Montreal and Edmonton are in the top teams. Yeah. The Habs, Leafs, Sens has been very politically charged for a long time. It's true, and I'm like kind of over it. I don't super care that much. There was a period of time there where the blood was really bad. Maybe the blood is still really bad, but I'm happy when any Canadian team is doing well. I'm particularly happy when the Leafs are doing well, but if like Edmonton does really well, I'm like, good job, Edmonton. Good job, Edmonton. Okay, so where is this coming from? Let us now trace through SearchFox and figure out where this is coming from. So this is the string. It's one of these old properties strings. We're going to see where this is fired from. I believe it's one of these two places, either here or here. So I'm going to set a breakpoint on both and see which one we're hitting. Break. Let's see. Line 1270. Break NS Cores listener proxy. CPP line 1270. And then the other one is line 743. Oh, I spelled that wrong. Listener proxy. Okay, so we'll go ahead and resume. Now let's see which one we're hitting. I'm gonna open up another new tab, and we hit this breakpoint where it's the first one. So here's our backtrace. We're initializing a listener proxy, do cores checks, do content security check. When we async open a base channel, we decide we're going to do a content security check. So this is where I'm going to start my analysis. Actually, I'm going to start at base channel. Base channel. Base channel. Whoops. Async open. And we're going to call do security. So this always happens for any channel that inherits from base channel, which is, I think, all of them. We're going to do content security check. So let's follow through. And we're going to see check allow load in system privilege context, the channel. Check allow load in privilege context. If dealing with a redirected channel, we've already installed Stream Listener and redirect proxies, we are done. Make sure that only one of the 5 security flags is set in the load info. Do not require same origin and allow cross origin at the same time. If security mode is security require cores inherits security context, we're going to do cores checks. So presumably we're entering there. Do cores checks 412. That's happening at 1493. So the security mode on the load info object on the channel is giving us, Danny Colin writes, if you want rivalry, definitely look the video on a Good Friday game of 1984 between the Quebec Nordique and the Montreal Canadiens. The Montreal Canadiens. That sounds awesome. Yes, I will want to check that out. And if you want a heated rivalry, check out crave.com. I'm not sponsored, but holy cow. Talk about your Canadian export right there. That is blowing up. If you're looking for some spicy homoerotic hockey stuff, heated rivalry is where it's at. It is blowing up worldwide. It is quite a phenomenon. And if you're looking for something to cool down that's hockey related, Shoresy. If you want to get more of that Canadian content that's hockey related, and maybe instead of being really spicy, you want less spicy, maybe more funny. Shoresy, I think it's pretty good. It's pretty good. So this right here and right here. Now this a redirected channel. Let's see here. Redirected channel. Get initial security check done. There is a set initial security check done. On a load info. Infallible. Whenever a channel is evaluated by the content security manager the first time, we set this flag to true to indicate that subsequent calls of async open do not have to enforce all security checks again. After a redirect, there is no need to set up cores again. We need a separate flag because the redirect chain may also contain internal redirects, which may pollute the redirect chain. Please note, once the flag is set to true, it must remain true throughout the lifetime of the channel. Trying to set it to anything other than true will be discarded. So I wonder if the work that we're doing, where is it? Over here, when we set up, I think it's a new tab redirector here. When we set up the channel, the inner channel, and we wrap it in a suspendable channel wrapper, I wonder if this load info, we can tell it that we don't really need to do core stuff here, that we're something special. Slapshot, another great movie. Yep, Slapshot. That is classic Canadian content. These fellas, Canadian icons. Bob and Doug McKenzie. More Canadian content. If you like Canadian stereotypical Canadian content, check out Bob and Doug McKenzie, Great White North. Glue glue. So I wonder, it doesn't make sense to me to try and trick this content security manager into saying that the initial security check has been done. But the security mode, it's read only. Where is that calculated from? Where do we determine the security mode? Now the suspendable channel wrapper it extends base suspendable channel wrapper. What is base suspendable channel wrapper? I wrote this. But what is it? It's this interface which does a bunch of this stuff. Allows us to not write as much. Where do we set our load flag to say, hey, requires security, load documents, sync load service? Sec flags. Set course pre-flight info. Has been cross origin mode. Maybe create and insert preload. Early hint preloader. For module preload requests. So this isn't a module preload request. Why are we, yeah, what are we getting here? The load info, we're being passed from maybe get cached page channel, which comes from new channel that goes to about new tab redirector child. We pass in the load info that we get. So about module, about redirector, about home, about redirector, about module, about module, about module. About protocol handler, here we go. So when we create a new URI, where do we create a load info? New channel. Set load info to load info. Where does the load info come from? Load info already came from new channel. New channel. So who calls that? HP, Favicon, IO service maybe? Let's see. Load info comes from new channel, from URI with proxy flags internal. Let's work our way backwards. See if we can figure out where this load info is coming from. Real channel for document receive redirect real channel. From URI with load info, new channel internal. Create real channel for document. Passing load info along. Notice we don't pass the load info from here. Load info really just kind of shows up here. Receive redirect to real channel. Deserializing the load info from the parent. Load info args to load info. Is this what is happening, that we make a decision in the parent process? Let's go up to 4. What is the args.uri? Cannot cast. Oh. Hang on. Cannot cast from ref pointer to pointer type. Is that what I want to do? Seriously? Like I can't do Mozilla Net and a simple URI star. It won't let me. Huh. Okay. Pload info. Maybe we can get information on this load. How about ARGs? What do we have? Okay, here, now we're talking. What is this thing? This might not actually be for the script load, by the way. This might be for the load of the document. In fact, I'll bet that's exactly what it is. That's so weird that we can't look at the URI. What is P? Can I cast this one? Mozilla Net and a simple URI. Yeah, there we go. And I can. There we go. So this is just for about new tab. Okay, so I don't care about that one. Continue. How about this one? About new tab again. What? Don't know what that is. What about this one? That also looks busted. What the heck's going on here? Maybe it's not a simple URI. That could be. Standard URL. Okay. What are you? Oh, a file URI. Okay, fine. Fine. And now what? Substituting URL. Don't care about that one. Standard URL. Yeah, I don't care about that one either. Standard URL. Don't care. Standard. Simple. Okay. Let's take a look. CSS cache. Okay, not quite there yet. Not quite there. CSS cache again. I guess I could do like a conditional breakpoint here, but I might do in a second here. This is a pain. Okay. LLDB. Conditional breakpoint. Conditional breakpoint on casting on cast type. Base class type. Oh boy. What would I even say? What would I even say for my conditional? Let's do a quick peek to see what we're loading here, by the way. Standard URL. What is this? Oh, we're loading all the scripts. We're not quite there yet. Standard URLs. Standard URL. Standard URL. We've got some more scripts to go. Let's see what one we're at now. Moz button. So where are we? Oh, we're still working our way down. Oh, this is painful. Moz message bar. Okay. Moz message bar. It's like it takes each one. Standard. 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 Ugh. Where am I now? Reorderable list. Almost there. This better be worth it. I don't think it'll be worth it. Here we go. Simple URI. That's the one we wanted. And hopefully this is for JS Cache. All right. So PA security flags 1104, which, where are we? We're in new channel for proxy flags internal. Backtrace. Trade channel for script loading. Module loader, start fetch. Is this the module loader? According to the spec, module scripts have different behavior to classic scripts and always use... This looks relevant. Only exception, non-linkable about pages, which load local module scripts. So are we an about page loading Chrome URI? If so, disable course checks. This is what we want. This is what we want. I want to do this now. I want to set a breakpoint here. We're going to disable breakpoint 1. Or what breakpoint is this? Breakpoint 4. Disable 4. Break disable 4. PA request. What is this? JS loader module load request. What are you? Is there a URI? There must be. Integrity, origin, principal, URL. Yeah. URL. Is page loading. What would it do? Request URI scheme is. I think I want to actually set a breakpoint here. Moz toggle. Okay. Actually, it would be interesting to know now if it's Chrome. We can either get here with a regular content principal or with a null principal in an error in a sandbox iframe. So the URI is Moz badge. The scheme, that's interesting. The scheme, it claims, okay, because the scheme is Chrome, we enter here. The fact that the scheme is not Chrome is why we're failing this. And so we say require CORS checks. That's what's going on. CORS mapping, security flags, compute security flag, CORS mapping. Let's do something really dumb. I'm going to detach. We're going to end this. We're going to do something really dumb just to learn. In module loader, which one is this? DOM script. Oh, no. We are going to have this always return true. Well, script loader, where is that? It's about page, script loader. What? DOM script loader. If the request URI is Chrome, so what would it be instead? It would be about, or let's just, if URI below is not of scheme Chrome, there's nothing to do. Let's just say return true. No. What I want to do here, and not a request URI. Scheme is about. Triggering principle. About module flags. Seems like an about page wants to load a Chrome URI. Okay, so let's try and build this and see what happens. This is not a thing we would want to ship. But I do feel like we're centering in on it, which is we have this special case that I think we may need to talk to the Neko or script loader teams about, where we're trying to load script from the network cache. So the script preload cache. Okay. Now I open a tab. And let's see what it says. Is there a CORS error? Yes, CORS error. Which is strange. I would not have expected that. change. Is it possible that the request scheme is something else? Let us do something. 33861. Attach 33861. No, 861. Okay. Okay, now reload. Wait. PA request URI. Come on. What are you doing? Could not do it. Okay, so net and a standard URL. What are you? You are loading badge. Okay, next, you are loading button. Next, you are loading group. Okay, so there's a pattern here. That's good. We're working our way down this list of assets that we're loading. The last one was group. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's take a look where we're at. Panel list. We got one more. Moz support link. All right, one more. Okay, now what is this? Let's just look at the request URI. It's a simple URI. NS simple URI. Is the scheme about? It looks like it. Sure looks like it. Scheme is about. True. Okay. So now we are going to what? We exit if we're not Chrome and not about. How did we is about page loading Chrome URI? False. How, what? And not request scheme is about. That should have returned. Scheme is about is true. Therefore, this evaluates to false. That's what's going on. I got my, damn it. I got my, my signs flipped. So, if scheme is about, if it's not Chrome, wait. True. This evaluated to true, so this becomes false. You do any condition and false. We shouldn't have entered this branch. What the hell is going on here? Sorry for swearing. Can we change the value? Is about page loading Chrome URI. can we set LLDB? Oh, whoops, I didn't mean to do that. LLDB set variable at runtime. Expression expr. Okay, so expr is about page loading Chrome URI equals true. Okay, so disable CORS checks. That is, what is that? Okay, so then next p CORS mapping, disable CORS checks, continue, break disable one, continue. Loading failed for module with source. So that's different. That's a different error. But now that's a different error, but we got past the CORS error. Wow, this is a journey. Here's what I think I've determined. Attempting to load a resource from the about alias is fraught. And so I think what we might want to do is add some kind of new, this is something I was thinking about earlier. Either we need to claim that the URI for the resource that we're grabbing is a Chrome URI, or we need to maybe introduce a new protocol handler, or we make it so that the Chrome protocol allows us to pull a stream of data from the network cache, which sounds fraught. Let's take a quick peek at the Chrome protocol handler. So this is really just mapping to a file URI from the Chrome registry. We do a lookup. Not necessarily a file URI. Just a new URI based on whatever we get from the override table. Override table put set. Who writes to this? Insert or update. Manifest override. The resolved URI. We check to see whether or not we can load. Cannot register a non-local URI for an override. The URI must be a local resource. The protocol must claim that it is a local resource. The way it does that is it checks to get the netutil, see if the URI chain has the protocol. It's dynamic registration. So manifest entry. What does this come from? Manifest override. Manifest override. An add-on manager. Anything else? Call it? Not really. It's the add-on manager inside of registry entries register. And I think the new tab resource mapping, we do something. Chrome. We ask the add-on manager to register Chrome. Our manifest file. And we tell it that we want to map. Let's register Chrome. Register set dynamic Chrome registry entries returns an object with a destruct method must be called in order to unregister. The base manifest URI for the entries URL values are resolved relative to this URI entries. An array of arrays, each containing a registry entry as it would appear in a Chrome manifest file. Only the following types are accepted. That's not true because override entry, we are able to do a register Chrome. That's not true. But we can add some overrides here. So could we add another entry that's like override? What is the length should be 2. Overrides append element the values. Overrides. What do we do with overrides? Manifest override. Hello. Manifest override. Are you serious? Here we go. Chrome and the resolved, and we need to make sure that the resource, the protocol claims that it can load locally. I think I'm starting to get a shape of this. We may be able to supply a special Chrome URI, the Chrome and the resolved URI. So like if I go override Chrome, new tab, cached, script.mjs, and then I'll also do Chrome, new tab, cached, styles.css. Oh, I need to supply what we're mapping to. Let's map to something on the file system. Let's create a couple of test files. What do I call this? Make mkdir test files. C test files. Actually, I think I have dist. Yeah, here we go. We'll move index to here, and then assets CSS to here. We're going to call this move index to script .mjs. We're going to move renderer to styles.css, and then we're going to hard code this in. Test files script.mjs, and we're going to hard code in styles.mjs, and then over in render this stuff, we're going to say Chrome new tab cached styles.css, right? Where's the resource mapper? What was I just looking at? Resource mapping. Override. It should be this. So we want that, and then for the script, the module, we will do script.mjs. Okay, let us now shut down build with no, stay where we are, mock new tab bundle. We're just gonna see what happens when we build this. New tab, or activity stream cached script styles, okay. And we're gonna see if it pulls from the disk. I think it will. But let's see. Nothing. Nothing. Urgh. What's happening? Loading failed for the module with source. What happens if I try and access the script? Error, illegal value. Never heard of it before. So there's no mapping. Let's check. Did we get our mapping wrong? Did we do our overrides wrong? Process app info process ID. Oh, I know what the process ID is. 3666887. Detach. And then we're going to do a lookup. Break. PAURI. No, I don't want that one. Don't want that one. Don't want that one. Don't want that one. Oh boy. Well, actually, what I do want while I'm here, if I'm in this breakpoint, is I want to take a look at the Chrome registry. And look at the override table. There are 8 entries. How do I get the entries? Get. This is a base hash table. Wait, sorry, an NST hash table. Look through the table. How do I inspect the table? Put contains get count generation. I just want to be able to iterate. Iterator, iter. Iterator, keys. Let's look at the keys. Keys. Oh, sorry. Dot keys. No member named keys in ref counted hash table. Sure. Did I do this wrong? What is this? An hash ref counted hash table. Extends from base hash table. If lookup. Maybe just iter. Okay. Just, or values. Values. What is this thing? That is a base hash table. It's not a pointer. It is a hash table. God. Okay. This is what an override looks like. And it really just maps from one Chrome to another. Moz protocol. Test no remote registration. Local resource should work. Should not work. Loadable by anyone. Local file URIs. Local file URIs should not work. Should not work. UI resource URIs. Moz protocol UI resource. Should not work, should not work, should not work, should work. Override to Moz protocol local resource. What is that? It's protocol local resource. URI is local resource. Who supplies that? What protocols? Blob. Boy, oh boy. And the Chrome. Or wait, no, that's... should load. Icon. Data. File. File protocol handler is a local resource. Page thumb. Tab wallpaper. Okay, I think I'm going to stop here, but we made some interesting discoveries. I think what we have determined is that the CORS mechanism is expecting, our module loader expects really just Chrome URIs and maybe resource URIs. And unfortunately, I don't think there's a great way for me to, well, resource, I can sub in, both Chrome and resource, I can do some subbing in. I can have them redirect to something else. And I wonder if that's our opportunity, is you remap something like resource : / new tab cached to a protocol handler that will do the needful input stream caching foo. I'm going to look into that, but I'm going to have to do that off stream. I hope that was interesting. I realized that was a lot of me just kind of like looking at code and going like, what? But maybe that's what you were here for. Let me know what you thought of this episode. There's a link here to rate this episode here at the bottom of the agenda. You know, I read everything that comes in. It's a great opportunity to ask questions. We talked a lot about hockey today. Maybe you like that. Maybe you didn't. Here's a link to rate this episode that you can supply. And we'll see you next week. I hope you have yourselves a great week. I will be ending the stream. I won't just let it hang this time. And I will do so in a couple minutes. Thanks, everybody. We'll see you next week. Take care. Bye-bye.
The joy of coding.
See ya.